That is not. Walaikum assalam.
We'll try that again. Assalamu alaikum, Maryam.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, so we are now on day 4. Congratulations.
Yes.
And today I'm going to completely fry your brains
Thank you.
with so much information, but you're going to remember all of it because I'm going to make sure you remember all of it. I'm going to pretend in the beginning that we didn't do the study of status for the last 3 days and just start something new altogether.
Okay.
And we'll come back to review in a little bit. But
Okay.
for now, I just want to start something new completely and take your brain somewhere else. Okay? There's lots of notes today. I don't expect you to memorize the notes or kind of regurgitate everything I'm telling you, but there are some things in the notes that are extra hard. So I want to conquer those things first, so they become easier, and then the rest of the notes are super easy. Okay? So it took us 3 days to study status, right?
Yeah.
But now we got to do number, gender, and type, and those are all 3 of those are kind of like tiny studies. They're not really a long, drawn-out study. So I want you to just super duper pay attention. You don't have to write anything down right now. Just listen to what I'm saying for about the next 5-7 minutes, and then we're going to start looking at some examples. Okay, so I'm not even showing you guys anything on the screen yet, so you guys listen in also. So I'm going to start with a silly story that happened to me that when I was in college. When I was in college, I was taking macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is about supply and demand. It's basically the study of like businesses and entire countries' businesses and things like that. And there's like lots of charts and graphs and things like that. And it was really complicated. It was one of the most boring classes I ever took. I had some of the best sleep of my life. It was really good therapeutic sleep. I learned to sleep sitting up. Also, it was a good thing that one of my best friends, Atif, was in the class with me. So his shoulder is really soft. So it was just really comforting to, and we had this auditorium where there's like the bottom area and the top, like how in some theaters they have this like above. So of course we'd go up to the top because it's lesser lighting and it's more comfortable sleep. So anyway, so our professor was from some part of China and he was an exchange student. He was a PhD student. He had a very heavy accent. And it was really hard to understand him sometimes, right? So that helped me sleep also some more. But apparently, the 300 students that were in the class, none of us could understand him, like not well, right? So when the exam time came, and the exam is like, if you fail the exam, you fail the class, right? So when the exam time came, all the students kind of made a complaint to the economics department that we don't understand our professor. So he got really upset. And he came the next day to class and he put a PowerPoint presentation on the screen to say, you people complain about my English, but this is Professor Wang's list of complaints against English. So we complained. Yeah, I told you about this sometime before, but I'm reminding you of it because it's related to our lesson. So he says he's got complaints about what? About English, right? So here's some of the things that he said. So I'm going to show it to you guys. So he said, you people, your language doesn't make any sense. You people drive on a parkway, but you park on a driveway. Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense. You should park on a parkway and drive on a driveway, right? Then he said the plural of tooth is what? Teeth. Right? Well, not teeth. Teeth. But the plural of booth is not beef. Right?
Yeah.
And the plural of goose is geese. Sorry, geese. Right?
Yeah.
But the plural of moose is not meese. Right?
What is the plural of moose?
Moose.
Moose. Oh.
Yeah. The plural of mouse is mice, but the plural of house is not heis. Right? So he had a whole list of these complaints because obviously in English, sometimes when you make something plural, you just add an S. Right? And other times you don't. You don't say childs, you say children. But you don't say kidren, you say kids. right? So sometimes when you want to make something plural, you just add an S. Other times, there's some other weird things you do. You change the spelling of the word altogether. Like, when I was saying mouse, it became mice. So the O is gone and the U is gone and the S is gone, right?
Yeah.
It just became a kind of a new word altogether, right? So this happens in English a lot. Like sometimes if somebody just learns English for the first time, they think that if you just add S at the end of something, it'll become plural, right? Because that's how you make many of anything. So they'll say, yeah, tooths, right? Or mooses, or gooses, or childs, right?
Yeah.
Because in their head, the only way to make plural is what? Put an S at the end and it becomes plural. Well, in English, obviously, we have S, but in Arabic, we have ani, and aini, and una, and ina, right? Like an ina, and then atun, and atin. This is how you make something more than one. Two of something or plural of something, right? This is kind of like, all of this stuff is like all the different versions of S in Arabic, right? Because when you add S in English, then something becomes plural. If you add these things, it becomes more than one. It could be two, it could be more than two, it could be feminine, but this is basically the version of S in English, in Arabic, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we know so far. But just like English, where you have tooth becomes what? Teeth without an S.
Yeah.
Sometimes in Arabic, you have words, when they become plural, they become a totally different word, spelled totally differently too, without adding anything on. So you could have a plural in Arabic without adding una or ina or atun or atin. Okay, so you could, those plurals also exist with nothing added to them, and they become kind of a weird word. Now, the thing in English is, now imagine for a moment that somebody's learning English, right? They couldn't guess that tooth is going to turn into teeth.
Yeah.
If they were going to guess, what would they have said? Tooths. That's what they would have said. Okay, so let me show this to you in Arabic. So you guys are familiar with the word masjid, yeah? Okay, so I want to say masjids. I want to make it plural. Maybe somebody would think I'll say masjiduna, right? Now we already know una is used for people, remember?
Yeah.
So you can't use that anyway, right? Maybe I'll use masjidatun.
No.
Right? Masjidatun. But that's also doesn't exist in Arabic.
Yeah.
Right? But because of what you learned, you figure it's got to be one of those. Either you add una, ina, or atun, atin, atin. That's how you make something plural. But in Arabic, the plural of masjid is actually masajid. Okay? And it's weirdly light. Remember there's 4 reasons to make something light?
Yeah.
It's one of them that I'm not telling you yet, but it is light. Okay? Now the thing is, we couldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
If we were going to guess, we would have added una or ina or atun or atin, what we learned before, right? But we couldn't have guessed that. Now here's another word, qalam. Qalam means pen.
Yeah.
Okay? If you say pens, you're not going to say qalamuna. It doesn't exist. You're not going to say qalamatun. That doesn't exist either. It's actually aqlamun. It's a totally different word.
Yeah.
So the internet students would ask, well, how am I supposed to know what it is then, Ustad? Right?
Yeah.
Well, they're not supposed to know. You can't guess what it's going to be. You got to learn it one at a time. You literally got to learn one plural at a time. Okay? And it's kind of like building your vocabulary. So this is where grammar can't help you. You just got to learn what it's going to be. Okay? These kinds of, so basically we've got the una, ina plurals, right?
Yeah.
Those are plurals too, right?
Yeah.
And then we've got the atun, atin plurals. Those are the feminine plurals.
Yeah.
And then you've got these unpredictable plurals. I don't know what they're going to be. I just have to learn them one at a time, like tooth and teeth.
Yeah.
Those are called broken plurals.
Oh.
What are they called?
Broken plurals.
Okay, so what the first discussion that I'm going to have with you guys is about broken plurals. I'm going to put some words on the screen, and I'm going to tell you that they are, you're going to tell me in English, and you're going to tell me whether they're broken plurals or not. Okay? In English, before we go to Arabic. So if I say,
Books, cars. And these.
One of these is a broken plural. Which one is a broken plural?
So a broken plural.
Let me tell you again how broken plurals work. You know what the word book means?
Yeah.
If you keep the word book and only add an S to it, then you didn't break the word book.
Yeah.
You kept it and you only added to it.
Yeah.
Think of the word book made up of 4 Legos. One Lego is B, then the other is O, then K, and then you added one more Lego piece, which is what? S, right? Car, you kept the word car. You didn't break those Legos. You just added another Lego piece, which is S, right?
Yeah.
Ideas. What was the original word?
Idea.
Idea, and you only added a piece. Did you break the word idea?
No.
No, okay. Then there was the word goose.
Yeah.
Goose, right?
Yeah.
To make the plural, did you break the original?
Yes. Yeah.
That's why it's a broken plural.
Oh, okay.
If you only add on, it's not broken.
Yeah.
But if you mess with anything in the beginning, then it's broken. Look at the word in Arabic, masjid. We did this already.
Yeah.
Masjidun. And look at the word masajid. If you think of it as Legos, it's meme, seen, Jim, and Dal. 4 blocks.
Yeah.
Right? When I said masajid, what did I do? Did I break it and add something in?
Yeah.
No.
Meme. Well, meme, seen, then what?
Alif.
I had to break the
Yeah.
and add alif and then put the rest together.
Yeah.
So I broke it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's a broken plural. Okay.
Cracked it a little.
Look at this word. You memorize this word. Muslimun and muslimuna.
Oh, Muslimun.
Did I break the word Muslim or did I only add to it?
You added.
That's why it's a regular plural.
Oh, okay.
The broken one would be the one where,
If you added a noon inside of it.
or if I added anything or took anything away.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now let's think of this one. Let me make it a little bigger. Rasulun means messenger.
Yeah.
Okay, the plural of Rasul is Rusulun. Rusulun.
You took something away.
This means messengers. So this word, first one means messenger, one. This one means messengers. Okay? Now, is this a broken plural?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was Ra, Seen, Wow, and now it's 4 blocks, and I took which one away?
The wow.
I took the wow away.
Yeah.
The only way a word is not a broken plural is if you kept the original exactly as it was and you added to it. Now, what are the things you're allowed to add to it? You can add ani, aini, una, ina, atun, ate. But if I make a plural and I didn't add any of that stuff and I broke the original word, well, then I've got myself a problem. That must be a broken plural. Okay. What about this?
Oh, that's you just added to it, so that's not broken. Yeah.
Is the word Rasul still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means it's a regular plural.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm telling you is on page 6, the plurals that you learned, that you memorized in that 3rd column,
Yeah.
they're the regular plurals.
It's only if you break it, like.
But some words only have broken ones.
Oh, okay.
And some words have both broken plural and regular plural. And you can pick between the two.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Check this one out. Let's try kitabun. Kitab means book.
Yeah.
The plural of kitab in Arabic is kutubun. Kutubun. Is this a broken plural?
Yes, because you took the alif.
You took that out.
Yeah, but I didn't just take the alif. I broke other things too.
Oh, yeah.
Think of it this way. The word started with ki,
Yeah.
and now I made it.
Cool.
If I mess with that stuff too, the sounds, that's also breaking it.
Oh, okay.
That also is considered breaking it. So if I said bahrun, bahrun means ocean, and I said buhurun, buhurun.
Yeah, you changed it. It's broken.
Did I change it?
Yeah.
I added to it, right?
Yeah. It used to be back.
Then it can't be regular plural. It's a broken plural. Okay. Let's try some more.
So I'm getting the idea now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Alim. What about you?
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. Alimuna. and ulama'u. Now let me tell you the meanings. This word alim means someone who knows, knowledgeable person.
Yeah.
Alimuna is knowledgeable people, plural.
Yeah.
And ulama is also knowledgeable people.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people translate ulama as scholars. Maybe you've heard that before,
Yeah.
that ulama are scholars. Nowadays, we translate that as scholars. And all of you audience folks, listen in. When the Quran was revealed, we didn't have scholars. Because the Arab society didn't have universities and tutelage and things. They were a desert society.
Yeah.
But they had the word alim. Alim, they considered someone who is knowledgeable. Obviously, as society progressed and we had different kinds of institutions, then people that we consider knowledgeable are scholars.
Yeah.
But in the time of the Quran, when the word ulama is used in the Quran or alim is used in the Quran, it's not talking about scholars. It's talking about people who know. So, if, for example, if Umar radiallahu anhu now knows that Allah is one. Yeah. Like the first day he knows that Allah is one and that the Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. He hasn't memorized anything. He hasn't gone to any university. But does he know something now that other people don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a alim actually immediately.
Oh, okay.
Because he knows. The Quran is calling him also a alim. Okay? Someone who knows. And then there are people who know more and more and more. That can be the case, right? So anyway, the issue is alim means a person who knows.
Yeah.
Alimun means people who know, knowledgeable people. And ulama is another word for knowledgeable people. Yeah. So I've got two different choices of plurals for this word. My question is, which one of these is a regular plural and which one of these is a broken plural? Because if this is a singular word, then which one is regular and which one is singular? Or which one is broken?
The second one is broken.
Ulama'u is broken?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
you switched up.
you switched up you added an. You added
the first thing I broke is what?
The alif.
The ayn. I broke the ayn.
Yeah.
Already broken.
Yeah.
Then I took the alif away. Well, it's even more broken. I didn't need 10 reasons to call it broken. You break one thing,
it's broken.
It's broken. Right? So, and there's lots of things that are broken here.
Yeah.
Right? Now, how will you know if a few other things? Let's go back to kitabun and kutubun about this. Kitabun and kutubun. Right? Does this end with a sound? This word, the one I'm highlighting, does this end with a sound or a combination?
A sound.
Good. Does this end with a sound and combination? Or combination?
Sound.
Sound.
Yeah.
Up until yesterday, when you were young and little,
I
told you that when you see an ending sound, it's one R, one N, or one J.
Yeah.
Today, I'm telling you that your world has gotten a lot bigger. Wow. Some words will have un, or in at the end, but they could be broken plurals, and we won't even know until we look at the meaning. Right? Because if you don't have the vocabulary, you don't know that word is one or a broken plural. See, the regular plural has a combination, so you'll know right away.
Yeah.
But the broken ones will look like their ending looks like the one ending.
Yeah.
So they kind of look the same. The only way you'll not make that mistake is if you have the vocabulary. Okay, so what I'm saying is if you see an ending sound, it could be one, and it could also be a broken plural.
Yeah.
How will we know? Vocabulary.
Okay.
I have a plan for teaching you vocabulary because I don't just want to teach you rules. And some people even asked, how are we going to learn all that vocabulary of the Quran? Okay, we're learning all these rules, but how are we going to learn all that vocabulary? I got a plan. And just like we're doing this little at a time, we're going to build a vocabulary little at a time. And we're going to do it one surah at a time. Okay? So, kitabun and kutubun. Does this make sense that the ending sound could mean that it's one, or it could mean that it's a broken plural?
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And we won't know, right? Because we don't know the vocabulary yet, so we won't know. But it's okay to get that wrong. Yeah. That part, for now, you're allowed to get that wrong. Okay. Now the crazy part. This is the only crazy thing. Probably the only crazy thing I ever learned in Arabic. Sleepy this morning, huh?
No, not that sleepy.
I'll make you do jumping jacks to get your blood flowing.
No, it's just the morning yawns. I gotta get up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Because when you yawn, there's like 30,000 people that are like, where's it coming from?
Yeah, I didn't like.
It's contagious.
Stretch.
God, keep stretching. It's okay. Good for your blood flow. Okay. Now, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm gonna write something in English. Maryam bought. Do you spell Maryam that way?
No, it's an I.
Okay. Maryam bought 4 books. That looks like it's an angry text message. Maryam bought 4 books. She read all of them in a week and then returned them for a refund.
I think she's done that before.
But I never buy books.
No, like
I know this is not you. This is the future
Yeah.
you. You know, after you become alima, like after you learn all this stuff, you're gonna buy books. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, how many books did Maryam buy?
4.
This Maryam from a parallel dimension
Yeah.
bought 4 books.
Yeah.
She returned all of them. Them. What's them referring to? Is it referring to Maryam or referring to books?
books.
Good. In a week. And then returned them for a refund. What's them referring
The
to?
books.
The books.
Good. That's clear to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to replace the word books with the Arabic word.
Kitab.
No, well, kitab is one.
Oh,
The
kitab.
broken plural is kutubun.
Oh, kutubun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Kutubun is the broken plural for kitabun. Kitabun means book. Kutubun means books. There was a barbecue thousands of years ago. And in that barbecue, the Arabs were getting bored.
Yeah.
And they said, man, we got to do something crazy. So they decided to do something really crazy that's been going on for thousands of years. Here's what they decided. If there's a broken plural, we shouldn't use them when we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
We should pretend to talk about one girl, even though it's a them. We're not going to call it they. We'll call it she. Even though we all know at this barbecue that it's they, we'll talk about it as if it's a she. I know it's crazy, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. And they did it.
Wow.
And for thousands of years, the Arabs talk like this. Maryam bought 4 kutub. She read all of her in a week and returned her for a refund. Now that doesn't make any sense in English, does it?
Yeah.
We don't say her, we say what?
Book.
Them.
Or
Them.
Yeah.
We say them. But the Arabs decided that when they talk about a broken plural, when they talk about what? A broken plural, they will talk about it as if they're talking about one feminine. One feminine. Not plural, one. Even though the meaning is the meaning one or is the meaning plural?
Plural.
The meaning is plural, but they will in their speech talk about it as if they're talking about one feminine. And this is something that happens in the Quran over and over again. Many places in the Quran. Okay? We'll dive deeper into this subject later on, but I do want you to know that when you see a broken plural, it could be that the way Allah talks about it, later on in the same ayah, he uses the word she. Or before it, he uses something feminine. And you're like, is there a girl inside? I didn't know there was a girl in this ayah. Who is he talking about? Is he talking about Asiya? Is he talking about Maryam alayhi salam? Or who's he talking about? And you find there's no female at all, but there is a broken plural in there. And because there's a broken plural in there, he's using the word she. So the way I simplify that is broken plurals can be considered, can be talked about as if they are a she. Okay? That's the idea, right? Now you're ready to take notes. This is the hard thing that I wanted to kind of show you first.
Okay.
This will make more and more sense. As crazy as this is, this will make more and more sense as time goes on. I would like to take questions, please. Come on.
If it was a boy who bought the books, would it still be treated as she?
It can be, yes. It can be. And actually prophets, messengers in the Quran have been talked about like she too. Angels have been talked about like she too. Not because they're females, but because the broken plural was used. So yeah, just because someone is male biologically and they're plural, but this is not about biology, this is not about reality. This is about grammar. And in grammar, even if you're talking about awlad, right? Awlad means kids.
Kids, yeah.
Kids could be boys and girls. But because the word awlad is a broken plural in Arabic, you can use the word she. You can use the word hiya, which we'll learn a little bit later on. But yeah, this rule applies can apply to anything. Now I keep saying can and not, I don't say must. Right? I say you can treat it like a she, and I haven't said yet you must treat it like a she.
Yeah.
You'll learn about the difference between can and must today.
Okay.
Other questions, Jawad?
I use
For words that have broken plurals, do they also have broken duals?
That's crazy.
There's no such thing as broken duals. That's only in real life. But no, you have singular, you have pair, and then you have different kinds of plurals. But there's no such thing as a broken pair. Ani, aini, aini always works. And also, since you asked that question, let me tell you what thousands of students have done before you, the same mistake. So don't fall into this trap of shaitan. Remember I said masjid?
Yeah.
How do you say two masjids? Masjidani. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then the broken plural was masajidu, right? That's and this is the one they'll talk about like a she,
Oh, okay.
right? So for example, if I say, I visited 10 masjids. Some of them were built a long time ago, right? If I said if I said this. Now, masjids, what Arabic word should I replace the word masjids with?
Masjid.
Masjidun is just one.
Yeah.
Masjidani is two. So which word should I use?
Masjidani.
No, masjidani is just two. It's 10 masjids.
Oh, masjidu.
Read it carefully. It doesn't say masjid.
Masajidu.
Thank you.
Masajidu.
Masajidu. So I'm going to replace, I visited 10 masajid. Here I'm going to write the Arabic word masajidu, and I'll make it a little bit bigger.
That
Right?
makes sense a little.
Now, I visited 10 masajidu. What did they say about broken plurals? They'll pretend that they're talking about
Female.
a female or one female,
One.
right? Some of them will no longer be some of them. What will it be?
Some of one.
They're talking about one female. Pretend this is a girl.
Some of her.
Yeah. Some of her was built a long time ago.
These Arabs must have had way too many kebabs.
They had but this is literally how they talked. Buniyat mundu zaman. Like they were built. Buniyat, she was literally says she was built. Right?
Yeah.
Or ba'duha buniyat. Like some of them. But this is actually how they speak. This is a real thing. And it's in the Quran too. Okay.
Okay.
Other questions? Well, no, the mistake I was going to tell you, because you asked about, is there such a thing as a broken pair? Right? First of all, there's no such thing as a broken pair. But here's what students do. You can take one. There's 3 words here. And I really need like 1,000,000% focus on this from you guys. Okay. This one is one masjid.
Yeah.
This one is
Two.
2 masjids. This one is
A lot.
more than 2.
Yeah.
3 or more. This is 3 or more. Broken plural, right?
Yeah.
What students do sometimes is this. They take the plural, right?
Yeah.
That's the plural. And then they add a pair to it. You can take one and make it a pair.
Yeah.
You can't take a plural and then make it a pair.
Pair.
That doesn't make any sense. It's already more than 2, and then you're doubling that. Like, what are you doing? It's crazy. That's like saying Muslimuna, Muslimunani.
Nani.
There's already Muslimuna. You want to add ani on top of that? I mean, you can. It doesn't work though. Maybe you'll feel better if you do it, but it won't be real.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that student I told you about a long time ago. Remember that Hifz class? You know, when there's a Hifz program and the sheikh's got a bunch of kids and it's their first day, so they don't know the manners of, reciting Quran or the masjid and things like that. So he said, make sure before prayer that you make wudu, because there's no salah without wudu. And one student said, yes, there is. And the teacher said, no, son, there's no salah without wudu. And he kept repeating it. No, there is. He goes, maybe you're referring to tayammum. Tayammum means when there's not enough water or not water, then you can do it with dirt or dry things, and you can make tayammum, right? Quran talks about that. But there's plenty of water. There's a wudu area here, so that's not going to work. So you have to make wudu. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about, Sheikh. I just tried it yesterday. It works fine, right? So you could try masajidani, and maybe that makes you feel good, but it still won't be real Arabic, right? So you can only make pairs of a singular. And then the broken plural is kind of a thing by itself. Other questions, Jawad, before I go on?
Are broken plurals flexible?
Most of them are. Some of them are partly flexible, but that's a later discussion. But remember, broken plurals don't have combinations. Broken plurals have what? Ending sounds.
And it sounds, yeah.
And the only way you'll know it's a broken plural is by vocabulary. So you won't know it at face value. So here's a word like this: ajnihatun. Now, if you're Arab, you know what it means. If you're not Arab, you don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And it looks singular because it looks on the chart on page 6. This looks like muslimatun, right?
Yeah.
It's actually a broken plural. This is actually a broken plural.
Oh.
But I know that because I have the vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it means wings.
Oh.
This is the word for wings. Okay, like chicken wings. Yes, but it's talking about angel wings. But
Okay.
okay, but so ajnihatun is wings, and so it's considered like a she, but it's got a ta anyway, so we might consider it she for that reason too. Okay, now let's take some notes. If there are no other questions that I need to address, I'll just start giving you guys notes. Is that okay?
I think one more,
Sure, go ahead.
and that's can a word have an una or atun plural and a broken plural at the same time?
You can have two options sometimes. So let me give you an example. So here's a word in Arabic in the Quran, sumbulatun. Sumbulatun is a stalk of grain. Let me just Google this for you, because you might know it not. Stalk of grain. That's a stalk of grain.
That's like wheat, right?
Yeah, that like whole tall thing, right? That's a stalk of grain. That's the Arabic word for that is sumbulatun. Okay. Now the thing is, I come back to my Word document. That's the word sumbulatun, a stalk of grain. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good that you associate a picture with it. That'll be easy for you to think about, right? So now the Arabs say that there are, if you want to talk about stalks of grain, remember muslimatun? What's the plural of muslimatun? Like that bottom chart, what's the third column with its plural?
Muslimatu. Wait, hold on.
Is muslimatuna? Because
No.
tuna's
No.
halal otherwise.
No, Muslimatani.
That's two.
Tiny, Muslimatani.
That's two. And then
Matin.
Muslimatani.
matin is not a word. I don't know what you're saying.
Muslimatani.
Do the chart. Look at it. Muslimatun, muslimatan, muslimatin, right?
Yeah.
That you already had it open. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one.
Yeah.
Then the next one is muslimatani, muslimataini, muslimatani. That's two.
Two.
Then there's muslimatun, muslimatin, muslimatin. That's plural. When a word has a hijab on it, then to make it plural, you add the atun. You take the hijab off and add the atun instead, right? So muslimatun became muslimatun, right? So let me show you that again. Muslimatun, when you wanted to make it plural, based on that chart on page 6, you made it muslimatun, right? Now the word I told you is sumbulatun. What does sumbulatun mean? I forgot.
Wheat. Like stalks of grain.
Stalk of grain. Okay. So the plural is just like muslimatun, sumbulatun.
Oh, okay.
Right? Sumbulatun. This is a regular plural because it's just like it's from the chart. If it's from the chart, it's a regular plural. It's not a broken plural. But the Arabs also say sanabilu. Sanabilu. It's the plural of sumbulatun. So this is one stalk of grain. This is many stalks of grain. And this is another word for many stalks of grain. You've got two options. So the question is, can it be both at the same time? Well, not the same word, but you can have two options for the same word. Okay. Another example of that is kafir. Kafir means a disbeliever, right? Qul ya ayyuhal.
Kafirun.
That's the regular plural. Kafiruna, right? It's got the una at the end. That's a regular plural. Then you've got kuffar. That's another word for disbelievers. And you've also got kafara. Kafara also means disbelievers. So you've got the one. This is the singular. This is one. This is plural. This is another plural. This is another plural. Now, which ones of these are regular plurals? These three. Which ones of these are regular? And which ones of these are broken? You compare to the singular. The word is kafir. When I said kafiruna, did the word kafir break?
No.
I didn't break those Legos. I kept them. So it's a regular plural. Easier way to remember that, if the plural comes from page 6, the first two charts, it's a regular plural. Okay. Now.
Wait, but I have a question.
Go ahead.
So kafirun, So, but it says kafiru. So if you add the wow and the noon,
Mhm.
it becomes a kafirun. So it would be like the same thing.
Yeah, you're saying the un was taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the un is just there for status. It's not part of the word.
Oh. Okay.
The word is actually kafir,
Oh, okay.
right?
Mhm.
The un is just telling you what status it is,
Oh, okay.
right? Now, good question. Now, kufarun and kafaratun, these two words, compare kafir and kuffar. Did you break it?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, did you break it?
Yes.
You broke it and added another piece that wasn't even there to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? These are both broken plurals. Okay. Other questions, Jawad? Does that answer that question? You can have multiple plurals, some of them regular, some of them broken. And Quran uses, by the way, all three. You find in the Quran kafirun, you find in the word kuffar, and you find in the Quran kafara. And before you guys ask, let me tell you, there is a difference between them, and you will get more advanced before I tell you how that works. Because it's amazing. Sometimes Allah says kafirun, and the translation says disbelievers. Sometimes Allah says kuffar, and the translation says disbelievers. And sometimes the Quran says kafara, and the translation says what? Disbelievers. So in English, it sounds the same, but Allah used three different words in three different places.
Mm-hmm.
He had a reason to use each one in each place because Allah speaks perfectly.
Yeah.
So discovering that is an epic thing that never happens in English translation. Okay? But we're going to learn about that later on. I'm going to teach you guys what's the difference between these three. What's the difference between sumbulat and sanabil?
Yeah.
Okay? And how did Allah use sumbulat? And how did Allah use sanabil? Because in English it just says stalks of grain.
Yeah.
Same thing. But it's actually not. It's actually more than that when we study Quran. Okay.
Wow. Arabic is so advanced.
Arabic is advanced. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like it makes your brain bigger. And that's why Umar bin al-Khattab said تعلموا العربية فإنها تزيد في العقل. He said, learn Arabic because it makes it enhances your mind.
Wow.
Basically makes you smarter.
Wow.
When you learn Arabic, it makes you smarter. When you learn Arabic, you'll get better at other subjects.
Wow. Crazy.
You know that? Because the way it makes you process things and think about things, it actually makes you,
Smarter.
Yep, it does. It does. It makes you more analytical. It makes you think about language. It makes you think about English differently. If you're learning another language, it makes you think about that differently. Broken plurals because... Do we have broken plurals because vanun and alif nun is used only for people? Yeah, vanun and alif nun is for pair, so it can be used for things too. But the wanun and yanun are for people only. Atun atin works for many, but most words in Arabic have broken plurals. If you ask me to say, well, what's the majority? Is the majority the una ina plurals? Is the majority the atun atin plurals, or is the majority the broken plurals? I would say the majority is the broken plurals. Sorry, a lot of vocabulary to learn, but it will be fun and easy, inshallah. Okay, here's the other good news. Quran uses maybe 5% of the Arabic language, like the vocabulary of Arabic language.
So what else does it use?
It just uses very little vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't take a lot to learn all the vocabulary of the Quran. The vocabulary of Arabic is way bigger.
Mm-hmm.
The vocabulary of Quran is way more limited. So it doesn't actually use that much. So you can learn the vocabulary of the Quran pretty quickly. Okay? Inshallah. Okay. Notes time. Number. Jawad, you can interrupt me still, okay? Jawad,
Got it.
you can? Okay. I think kaparatun is like not broken. No, don't think that. And you're saying I am humans, which is not a thing. Okay. Number one. So in number, we study is a word singular versus pair versus plural. That's what we're studying in number, right?
Mm-hmm.
But singular, we already know singular.
Yeah.
And you already know pair. Ani, aini, aini. You already know it. So you know what? I'm going to cut it out. I don't have time for this.
Singular. Bisingular.
I'm bisingular and bipair. I'm only going to study
pair. Plural.
Plural. Yeah. All I care about when I study number is plural. If you understand plural, you're done with number.
Okay.
Okay? Now check this out. Number one. Masculine plural. Una, ina. You already knew that or no?
Yes, we knew this.
You did? Una and ina.
Yeah.
The only new thing I'm adding is it's masculine, right? You know what masculine means? Masculine doesn't mean just boys or men. It means men and women together. It could be just men. It could be men and women together. Okay?
Yeah.
The masculine in Arabic includes both. Okay?
It means it's heavy, right?
Yeah, so if you say Muslimuna, it means Muslim men and women. And heavy or the light version, it doesn't matter. So you can add U or E too. What do you think I'm going to say next as number 2?
Feminine.
Good. Feminine plural.
Yeah.
And that's atun.
Atun and atin.
Or the light versions, atu or ati.
Yeah.
You already knew this?
Yes.
Yep, totally. The thing about studying status is so much of what we learn in number already gets covered.
Yeah.
So far, number 1 is from page 6 and number 2 is also from page 6?
Yes.
So my line's going to get messed up, but I want you to write page 6 here.
Okay.
And I also want you to write page 6 here. Then there's number 3. Broken plural. Broken plurals. Okay. Well, we know one thing.
Yeah.
Broken plurals are when the singular word is broken. When the singular word is broken in the plural version, it's called a broken plural. Easy example would be masjid becomes what?
Masjidu.
Masajid.
Masajid, yeah.
So the word masjid was broken, therefore. So write that out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's number 4. No, not number 4, really. 3A. We'll make it 3A. Three A is going to be human broken plurals, and 3B is going to be non-human broken plurals. BP is not the gas station. I'm talking about broken plurals. Okay. Is masjid a human broken plural or a non-human broken plural?
Non-human.
Is anbiya, prophets?
Oh, that's a human.
Human. Just what is it talking about, right? That makes it easy to. Now, human broken plurals, what you're going to write at the end of human broken plurals is can be treated as she. And non-human, you're going to write must be treated as she. We talked about the she thing, right? The barbecue?
Yeah.
If they have a broken plural, they say, hey, let's pretend we're talking about a single female, right? So that's the word she. Your brain is fried because of broken plural. It's okay. It'll unfry. Just turn the stove off. Because Azra, you said, why do we only use una and ina and not aini? Because aini is for pairs. We're not talking about pairs. We're talking about plurals. And why are we not adding the M? The M is part of the Muslim. The subtitles are so bad. Where are subtitles? Why are you using subtitles? Yes, don't worry. Allah will guide. Okay, I'll define human and non-human. That's fine. Let's do that. When a word is talking about humans,
It is
a plural that's talking about humans, it's a human broken plural.
Yeah.
When a plural is talking about non-humans, it's a
Non.
non-human broken plural. Okay, so you've written this down. Now you stop writing and let me explain again. Then we'll come back to this. Okay? All right. So we start over. Because it's good to kind of take a restart, look at it again, and make sure you got it.
Yeah.
Okay? So my professor had a problem because tooth becomes teeth and booth doesn't become beef.
Yeah.
That's what he had a problem with, right?
Mhm.
What he was saying was, how come for tooth you broke it?
Yeah.
You broke the original word when you made it plural, and you made it a broken plural.
Mhm.
And how come for booth you kept it, even though they're spelled the same way, and you just added an S, right?
Mhm.
So this thing about broken plurals isn't just something that happens in Arabic. It happens in English too.
Yeah.
You understand? It happens in English too. And the only way for someone to know is they just have to learn the language one word at a time.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you find a broken plural, teeth,
Yeah.
something like that in Arabic, a plural that basically the word looked one way in singular and looks totally different, or looks somewhat different even in the plural. So if you have, let's take a list, Rasulun, Rasul and Rusul. Sorry, Rusul. Or you have Kitab and Kutub. Or you have Masjid and
Masajid.
and then Masajid. Good. Or if you have Qalam and Aqlam, pens. Aqlam. These are, now let me just change the font here so it's clearer. Okay, that's nicer. Okay, so Rasulun, and Rusulun, Kitabun and Kutubun. Now these are all broken because the original word had a waw in it, but it's gone.
Yeah. Disappeared.
Right? And I didn't ask you to come up with the word Rusul. I gave it to you because I have the vocabulary.
Yeah.
Right? But now that I'm telling you that it's a broken plural, then you look at your notes. Now, by the way, this Rasul is a person or no?
Yes.
So this is a human broken plural.
Yes.
And Kitab is a person or no?
No.
No, so that's a non-human broken plural. What about Masjid? Is that a human or no?
No.
So Masajid is a non-human broken plural. Qalam is pen. So Aqlam would be a non-human broken plural. And the notes you're taking right now, listen carefully now, the notes you're taking right now are not about Rasul. They're not about Kitab. They're not about Masjid. And they're not about Qalam, because those are all singular.
Yeah.
The notes you're taking right now are about the word Rusul and Kutub and Masajid and Aqlam. Those are the words you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay? It's okay. Now, go back to your notes.
Okay.
Read them to me.
Number one.
Number one.
Masculine plural.
Masculine plural means una
and ina.
ina. That's for people,
Yeah.
and it includes men and women.
Yes.
Good. What's the second one?
Fem plural is atun, atin,
Right.
atu, ati.
That's the light version of it.
Yeah.
That's the feminine plural.
Yes.
That's for women
Mhm.
or for things that are feminine in Arabic. Okay, good. What's next?
3 is broken plural is when the singular word is broken in the plural version. Masjid.
Wait. So when the singular word is broken in the plural version, do you see that in action over here?
Yeah.
All of you that were confused, do you see that in action? This was the singular word, and notice the waw is gone. And this one, the ra used to have a on it, but now it has a u on it, so it's broken. It's not the same word anymore.
Mhm.
Kitab became kutub, so it's broken. That's what I'm saying there in those notes. What's next? Mariam, you read what's next.
Okay.
A human
Broken plural.
broken plural can be treated as she.
Right. So what I'm saying is the word rusul, which means what? Messengers.
Yeah.
Messengers. So here's an example to think about that conceptually. Okay. If I say messengers guided people, they were honest. Right?
Mhm.
They were honest. And because the word messengers is rusul in Arabic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Rusulun, which is a broken plural.
Mhm.
Now, what does that line say? If it's is it a human broken plural?
Yeah.
So what does the human broken plural line say?
It can be treated.
It can be treated as a she, which means if you say in Arabic, they were honest, that's okay.
Yeah.
That would be fine. But you can also say
She was honest.
she was honest.
So like instead of saying Rasulun or Rasul, you could say she was honest.
Right. Or when you're talking about Rasul, you can use the word she.
Okay. Is it like kind of disrespectful or?
No, not at all, because they're not thinking of it in terms of a woman.
Oh, okay.
You know, and that's the next discussion we're going to have is about gender pretty soon. Gender in Arabic is not about boy and girl.
Mm.
For them, the sun is feminine and the moon is masculine. For them, a pen is masculine, but a house can be feminine. For them, the earth can be feminine, and a well can be feminine, but water is masculine. Yeah. So when they think of masculine and feminine, they're not thinking of biological male and female.
Oh, okay.
That's not like calling the messengers a girl.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm just using that example to make it easy for you to understand, but they're not referring to biological gender.
Okay.
Okay. This is gender only in grammar. Okay. Does that help, Jawad? Are there other questions?
And then we forgot B.
Jawad?
Yeah. So one question is, does this mean that we can say that all non-human broken plurals have their alif removed and all human broken plurals have a waw removed? Taking the example.
No, I never said that. Don't be saying that. No. Haram, haram, haram. Never said that. Just because I gave you some examples in which an alif was removed or a waw was removed doesn't mean that's going to happen all the time. I gave you 4 words, not 4,000 words. All I said was it's broken. The way it's broken, Imam Fakhruddin al-Razi tried to count how many ways it can be broken. I think he came up with 43 ways, which means I'm not going to teach you that because ain't nobody memorizing 43 ways. Just learn 1 word at a time and chill. But don't try to make rules out of an example. The example explains a rule. But the example is there to help you understand a rule. But don't use the example to come up with a rule. Right? Because that could apply in some cases and not apply in other cases. It's just an example. So that's a common mistake students make because they want to be able to say, okay, if I see a wow and if I don't see a wow, then I'll know. No. I didn't say that. So don't say if that was a discovery, you didn't make it. Trust me, I've been teaching this 20 years. I would have discovered that before. It did not happen. Okay, because like in math class, sometimes students come up with a quicker way to solve a problem, and that's possible because there are other methods to do that. Don't try that at home with Arabic. Okay, there's some things that have shortcuts, other things don't. This is one of them things that does not have a shortcut. Other questions, Jawad?
You gotta take the long way.
Yep.
For the question was right. Angels and jinn, are they included in human or non-human?
Angels and jinn are included in human. They're included in human.
So like plants be like included?
Plants would be non-human.
Non-human.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Animals would be non-human.
Okay.
Other questions?
So human just means like anything that like has like
humans, angels, jinns.
Okay.
When I say human, I'm referring to those 3.
Okay.
Remember the people thing?
Yeah.
It's the same as that.
We're good to go.
Okay, good. So your notes took you thus far to the following. Yes. This is what you have in your notes, right? You've got the masculine plural, the feminine plural, 2 kinds of broken plurals, and can be and must be, right? The human can be and the non-human must be. And the final thing, final thing, number 4, plural, because the Arabs said so. I love that one.
Oh yeah, I remember we talked about that one.
Plural because the Arabs said so. I just want you to know 3 words. Qawm, it's written in Arabic like this. Qawmun. Then make it bigger. For now, you don't need nothing else. Qawmun. And then Nas.
You don't want to strike Oh.
You should write Qawm.
Oh,
if you want to write it in Arabic, you can. If you want to write it in English, you can.
Yeah, my Arabic.
Qawm.
Oh means generation, right?
Nope.
Oh.
You remember some things. But no, that's not what it means.
Oh, because
but it was a cute try.
No, because the Farsi qaum means like generations.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, qaum like right.
Like family.
Like your family and stuff.
Nice. No. Okay?
Yeah,
no.
okay.
That's one of the things that happens in Muslim cultures.
Yeah.
Is we take words that exist in Arabic
Yeah.
and we give them our own meaning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not what it means in Arabic. It happens in Urdu, it happens in Farsi, it happens in Bahasa, it happens in Turkish. So Muslim languages, we take from Arabic and then we twist them and turn them into our own version.
Yeah.
You know, we take the same meat, we cook it our own way. That's what we do. Okay, so Qawm means nation.
Oh, okay.
Qawm means what?
Nation.
Nation. Nas means people.
Oh, Nas. Yeah.
Nas means people. And Qarn means generation.
Generation. Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So Qawm means what again?
Your
Generation.
No.
Oh wait, no.
people.
Qawm.
Nation.
Oh,
Nation.
Yeah.
Nas,
people.
Qarn,
Generations.
Qawm,
People.
People.
Nas.
No. Nas is
oh.
people. Qarn is
It's nations.
no, it's not
nations.
nations.
Okay, I'll say the English word. You'll tell me the Arabic word.
Okay.
Nation.
Nation
is
Qawm.
no, it's
Nation is Qawm.
n-
Qawm.
Mariam?
it's Nas. Or Nas.
Nope, nation is not
it's
Nas.
Qawm.
It's Qawm?
It's
Yeah.
Qawm.
Oh, okay.
Nation is Qawm.
Yeah, nation is Qawm.
Generation.
Generation. Oh, that's
That's
Qarn.
Qarn.
Qarn, right?
Okay, Mariam's turn. People.
People Nas.
Generation.
Qarn.
Nation.
Qawm.
Okay, now flip the page.
Okay.
Okay,
I didn't
again.
even finish writing it.
Okay, good.
Okay, yeah.
But you know, you can't help your eyes. It's the thing. I want you to stop relying on your eyes. So Qarn.
Qarn, that's nation.
Haha, no.
No.
It's
Qarn. Oh, Qarn. Qarn is no Qarn is nation.
Internet. What's Qarn?
No, Qarn isn't. Is it? It's nation.
Qarn is what's Qarn? What's Qarn? Generation, Safa. Thank you.
Qarn is generation.
Qarn is generation.
Oh, I thought you said Qawm.
أساء سمعا فأساء إجابة. He heard poorly, so he responded poorly. It's an old Arab saying. Okay, listen again. First, people.
People Nas.
Nas.
Hold on, Mariam's turn.
Okay.
People.
Nas.
Oh. Generation.
Generation. That's is.
Don't repeat my words.
Qarn.
People.
People. Nas.
No, you repeated my name. You repeated the word. Can't repeat the word.
Okay.
Nation.
Qawm.
Okay.
I realized.
Generation.
Qarn.
People.
Nas.
Generation.
Generation.
Ah, you repeated the word. Generation.
Qarn.
Nation.
Qawm.
Generation.
Qarn.
People.
Nas.
Oh. Generation.
Qarn.
Nation.
Qarn. Qawm. Qawm. Qawm.
Nation.
Qawm.
Generation.
Qarn.
Okay. People.
Nas.
Okay. All right. Plural because the Arab said so. I don't care to say more. I'm not explaining it. We're not discussing it. You just wrote it down. There's 3 words. Plural because the Arab said so. But what does that mean, Ustad? Can you explain for? No, not right now. Don't feel like it. Nope. We're gonna do it later when we're there, and it actually is something you can retain. That's when I will explain it to you. So this is good enough for now. And guess what? We're done with number.
That's it.
That's it.
Numbers like all these notes. Fine.
That's it.
Half a page. And
Okay. So status was 4 lessons.
Yeah.
Forms of status, how to tell status, light versus heavy status, flexibility of status. It took us 3 days to paint through that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number, super simple.
Yeah.
Human, the masculine plural, una, ina, ina.
Yeah.
Feminine plural, atun, atin, atin. Broken plural, which is 2 kinds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Human broken plural and
Non-human.
non-human broken plural. I talked to you about how if a word is broken, when you see the plural version of it, that's when it's called a broken plural. That broken plural can be treated she if it's human, and that broken plural must be treated she if it's non-human. And there are 3 words in Arabic that are considered plural because the Arabs said so. What are those words?
Kaum, nas, and qarn.
Qaum, nas, and qarn. And you're good. Number is done. There are 4 properties of ism: status, number, gender, and type. You're going to take a good 5-minute break. In those 5 minutes, you guys are free to ask questions to Ustad Jawad. And after that 5 minutes, we are going to take some more of your questions and then start on gender. We can finish all 4 properties today because they're all brief. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Take a quick break. 5 minutes.
I can say the ending of your thing now, because I remember before quarantine, I think it was a week before you were trying to teach me, but then quarantine happened, and then I memorized it. It was like Barakallahu wa lakum fil Quran al Hakim wa nafa'ni yakum bil ayati al Quran al Hakim.
Close. I am impressed, sir.
Wait, what did I miss?
Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Quran al Hakim wa nafa'ani
ونفعني
Yes, ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم.
Oh, okay.
So it's long. I'll tell you, eventually you'll say this naturally because you'll know everything that it means.
Okay.
Inshallah. Very cool. You got 4 minutes and 27 seconds. There's a timer on there now.
Oh, you figured that thing out?
Jawad, go ahead and answer questions out loud, yeah?
Oh my goodness. I got like a good 10 hours of sleep. I don't know, I'm tired.
I went to sleep late. I thought it was the last one missing.
You can always make noise back there so Jawad can answer questions. So you're on
Sabrina, not all non-human plurals are going to be broken. Some of them are going to use the feminine plural. Like, for example, we have sama for sky, and we can have one of the plurals for sama is samawat. So that uses the feminine plural ending. Samawatun, samawatin, samawatin. Don't get too concerned about the flexibility of broken plurals yet. We'll talk about that. And I saw some questions earlier about the flexibility of duals as well as human plurals and or the masculine plural and the feminine plural. But we already talked about that when we talked about those. Remember, the rafa' is unique, and then the nasab and jar forms, they always look the same. So you could call them partly flexible, but they're not really partly flexible, because remember, partly flexible is always light, and those are not always light. So the nasab and the jar in the dual and the plurals will look the same. I saw the question, but I didn't see the name. Rizwan. Yes, partly flexible words and non-flexible words can have plurals as well. And if just because a word is non-flexible, that does not mean that its plural will be non-flexible. So you have to look at each word individually, and you can't take the flexibility from another form. Tanisha, the 3 words we talked about, plural because the Arab said so. I don't want to get too into it because we'll talk about this later in number, but these are singular words, but we treat them as plural. That's why we call them plural, because the Arab said so. Because they themselves are singular, but we treat them like they're plural. Natasha, the masculine includes both men and women because that's just how the language works. If you use the una ending, then that could mean a group of all guys, or it could mean a group of guys and girls, or yeah, I think those are the two options. But the atun, feminine ending, can only be used for a group of women only. I hope that made sense. Dr. Alfia, we haven't talked about fi'ls yet, so we will get to that when we get to that, inshallah. RKS, when we talked about human broken plurals can be treated like a she, that means that, for example, the word rusul, we talked about rusul. For rusul, it can be treated as a she, or it can be treated as masculine plural. And what we mean by treated is something that we'll get to later. But for right now, just try to understand the concept and don't get too caught up on what different things mean. Because if we go too far into what things mean, you might get confused. So just try to understand the concept for now, inshallah. And if you miss something, then keep in mind you can always rewind the video on your side as well. MJ, the class is from 9:30 to 12:30 Central Standard Time. Asad, Qawm, Nas, and Qarn, they're singular words. They're singular words, but we treat them as plural. So we don't call them broken plural or non-broken plural or human plural or non-human plural or any of that. They are singular words, but we treat them as plural. Because their meaning is plural. Sayyida, that would be correct. You can apply this to other words with similar meanings as well. Rizwan, I didn't really understand your question completely. There's no such thing as a non-flexible plural. We just mentioned all the different types of plurals. Try not to add anything into that. So we have masculine, feminine, broken, and plural because the Arab said so.
Have you ever walking and then somebody comes in front of you and then you try to look to the side and they look to the side?
Mirza, I can see your comment. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes. That's the most awkwardest thing because there was this lady and I walked to the side and we did that 2-3 times. It was the most awkwardest thing ever. Oh yeah, when they're right in front of you. Mm-hmm. It's the most awkwardest thing. Ustad, do you need your water bottle?
Time expired.
Time expired.
How'd it go, Jawad?
It went well.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Any other outstanding questions I can take?
I think I addressed the main concerns.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Jawad, were you able to upload the audio file that I gave you, the summary?
Not yet. I'm still waiting on some stuff.
The technical stuff?
Yeah, technical stuff.
Okay. So one of the things, guys, I'm working on, as we progress through the course, today we're going to be done with 40% of the course. It's a 10-day course. So it's quite a bit of progress. We're nearly half done. And what I want to do is make sure that you have all the resources you need to excel. The transcripts serve that purpose. You can go through that material. They've been written by myself some time ago because I've taught this course so many times. So all of what I teach you and more has been captured in those transcripts, and they're not very long. So that the purpose of that is so you have, good reading material, not just exercise material. Of course, Jawad and myself and the team are here to answer as many of your questions as we can and support you as best we can. There are also the Bayina.tv videos that you need to know about under Dream. I have broken up each of these concepts into 5-minute, 7-minute, 8-minute videos. So this is a 3-hour recording where we're bunching everything together, but just a few minutes on properties of the ism, just on status or flexibility, just on partly flexibles, just on, so it's kind of broken down like that, and you can see the titles and actually go to them. So it's, if there's one particular thing bothering you, instead of going through the entire, recording of the 3 hours, you are welcome to. But the purpose of that is, again, you have access to a resource that helps pinpoint exactly where your confusion is. And finally, what I'm trying to do now is every few days or every couple of days, I'm going to make like a couple of recordings, audio recordings, and Jawad's going to help put those up on the website, the study resource website, where in 5 minutes or less, I'll summarize everything we did, right? So I've already made an audio of the last 3 days, just a 5-minute summary of everything we did in the last 3 days. And the things you need to memorize, I'll make audio recordings of them. So even though we're memorizing in class, if you want to go home and listen to me recite just that chart, nothing else, just the chart, and you want to hear that over and over again so you can copy what I'm doing, the Muslim one chart, I've already made that. And there are other things you're going to memorize in the future, making those too, and I've made some of them already. So we'll release those as the time comes so that you have, again, that resource, because my purpose is I want to be able to give you no excuse to not excel. Anything you need to be supported, I want to be able to provide through our, our platform and our team. So that's what we're here for. We want to just do ihsan in this as much as we possibly can, inshallah.
Yeah, I noticed when reading the thing you told us to read, some of it, I don't think we covered, did we?
Yeah, some of it we didn't cover.
Yeah,
you're right, because
confused.
I'm thinking long term. I'm with you guys for 10 days, then you're taking 4 days off, then you're going to go into the next intensive. In the next intensive, some of the things I didn't talk about then, I'll bring those up.
Okay.
We'll do way more practice, so it won't be a repeat of this. It'll actually be this same stuff again, but in a totally different way,
Okay.
right? Because then that it's almost as if I know you already did this, but now we're going to do this deeper. Hardcore. So it's the same material but deeper, right? Then we take 4 days and then we take a new course. So that's how I want to progress. So there are some things I'm purposely not talking about too much right now that I will talk about in the next course more so. And there are some things that we're doing a little bit of practice now, but the next round is going to be like heavy on practice, heavy on application. And we're going to get into Quran more and more and more, because that's really, I'm such a strong believer in your foundation being solid that I don't even mind teaching the same course twice before I continue. And that's actually literally what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this and then the reinforcement of it, because I don't believe the first time you do it, it's enough for you to progress. You got to do this again. You got to do this exact thing again and master it. Actually, I even say you should master it to the point where all of the contents of this course, you can say off the top of your head, and you will be able to. That's not far-fetched. It seems overwhelming right now, but it's actually pretty organized information. And once there's a map in your head, it actually makes pretty easy sense to be able to say all of it in one go. My hope is at the end of this course, I'll give you a 10-minute video and we'll do it together. I'll give you a 10-minute recording of the entire course, everything we did, and just in one audio, on one video. Okay. But anyway, for now, let's go to gender. So we did status, we did number. Now we're going to do gender. And then we're going to start analyzing words. Okay. So let's talk about gender. When it comes to gender, a word could be masculine and it could also be feminine, right? Those are the two genders. But in Arabic, we don't really waste our time studying masculine.
Feminine makes sense.
We only study what?
Feminine.
So even though I'm saying masculine versus feminine, our real study is only just feminine. And that's important because when we study the few things that make a word feminine, if you don't find those few things, everything else is masculine.
Oh, okay.
So you know how they say in court, innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, masculine until proven feminine.
Oh.
All we got to do is prove a word is feminine.
Okay.
If we're not able to prove it, then automatically it's masculine. Okay, so that's kind of the logic. So all we really have to do is study feminine. Now, within feminine, there are two kinds, real versus fake. Real feminine and fake feminine. Okay. Real, and you're writing this as I talk. Okay. So real feminine is Maryam is a real feminine. Mom is real feminine. Cow is real feminine. You know, what else? You know, a sheep can be real feminine, right? A baby girl can be real feminine. Fatima is real feminine. If you use a word that's talking about something that's biologically female, the biology of it is female, that's real feminine. Okay? Whether it's your aunt, grandma, the word she, doesn't matter. You're referring to somebody female, right? Which means I don't have to teach you that because I hope you already know that.
Yeah.
That's not an Arabic class. That's a common sense class.
Yeah.
Like if I had to sit in class and explain to you why mom is feminine, we have a bigger problem than Arabic grammar,
Yeah.
right? So we're not going to do that. So we're only going to spend our time studying fake feminine. So it's pretty cool that we limited our study, right? We're going to study gender, and gender is masculine versus feminine. But no, we don't have to complicate it so much. We can just study feminine.
Yeah.
And even within feminine, there's real and fake. Well, we don't have to do all that. We don't have to do real. We can just do fake feminine, and then the rest of it is already masculine. Okay. Now, what does it mean, fake feminine? You see, some of you have learned Spanish. Those of you that are from this side of the world or in Europe or whatever, and there are other languages, European languages and other languages in which things have a gender, right? So you say, for example, el libro, the book, and la biblioteca, the library.
Oh, okay.
Right? So they use el for things that are masculine and la for things that are feminine. But a library is not a girl. And a book is not a boy, right? But they use masculine and feminine for it anyway, right? The Arabs have that. Every ism, it doesn't, you know, ism could be person, place, thing, idea, adjective, adverb, and more. Every one of them has a gender. Every one of them is either masculine or feminine. That's why we don't use male and female, because male and female is, you know, if I say this microphone is masculine, it's still not a male. This computer is masculine, that doesn't mean it's a boy, right? But this table in Arabic, tawila, is feminine, but that doesn't mean that it's a girl.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's basically kind of like in English, we have he and she. You're not writing this yet. And it, right? Well, they have he and she, but they're it. There's an it feminine and there's an it masculine. They've got two kinds of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So fake feminine is about the it that's feminine. It's not really a girl. It's talking about things that are feminine, even though they're not actually females. Okay. Now there's a few kinds. Number one, words that end with, or I'll make it even more accurate, many words that end with, let me make the font nicer. Okay, so these are three endings. Okay, this, and I didn't say all words, I said many words, right? Many words that end with a stretched alif with a hamza. Okay, bayda'u, hamra'u, amya'u, sama'u, safra'u. There's lots of words like that in the Quran. Yeah. If you see these endings, they can be feminine. It doesn't happen a lot of times. Details of this will be in round 2, but for now, this ending can be feminine. Okay. You see a stretched out alif with a mud on it, and then you see a hamza. That word could be feminine because of that. Then there's this ya, which got a dagger on top. Yeah. This can be feminine, like bushra and husna and yusra and yumna and, you know, kubra and sughra and uzma and all of those. But it doesn't always work because Musa and Isa and Yahya are not. Yeah. So it's not all words, but many words. Okay. But the most popular one is the hijab. Yeah. It's called the ta marbuta. Okay. Ta looks like this. Marbuta means tied up. Right? This guy is the most common cause of identifying something as feminine. Okay, so if you see these endings at the end of a word,
Yeah.
then chances are that that word is feminine.
Feminine.
Okay, now I'm going to open up the notes so I can show you. If you don't have good handwriting, you can just do this. I'll write it poorly too. You can just go straight line, top line, and Superman. That's the first one. Write it.
On here?
I mean, I'll write it nicer, but
Like right here?
I usually have good handwriting, but writing on a screen is difficult, huh?
This? Like
Yeah,
right here?
yeah, right here, yeah. Squiggly on top, yeah. And then Superman on the side. There you go. Then there's the...
Oh.
There's just a crazy S. S that looks like a duck.
Yeah.
And then... Not... It's in the middle of it.
Oh.
Okay. And then, of course, there's the... Yep. Yours can look like a pomegranate. That's fine. Okay. Those three endings.
Yeah.
They make a word feminine. So that's, but that's not because they're female. That's just, it's a fake feminine.
Yeah.
Okay. So many words that end with this. This is item number 1.
Okay.
Number 2. Broken plurals. We already know that. Well, why am I putting that here? What did the Arabs decide at a barbecue, guys?
Broken plurals.
They said if a plural is broken, we're gonna pretend
It's a she, you know.
but it's not really she. We're faking it.
Yeah.
That's why it's part of the fake feminine.
Yeah.
Broken plurals can be a fake feminine, but you already took notes on the broken plural, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing here.
Fake feminine.
Then there's item number 3. I'm so excited because we're almost done with the concepts. And then it's just, you're going to tear it up. You're going to look at a word in the Quran, and you're going to tell me the status, number, gender, and type. Status, number, gender, and type. Any ism, you're going to tell me status, number, gender, and type. And you're going to be like 4 properties guru of grammar.
Yeah.
You're going to look at any ism I give you and you say, here's the status, here's the number, here's the gender, here's the type. We're going to do it over and over again until that becomes like a thing for you. Okay? But anyway, we're almost there. So broken plurals can be a fake feminine. We already covered that, right? Then there is feminine on page 12 because the Arabs said so at the barbecue.
12, because the Arabs.
You can write it. You can spell it properly, okay? You don't have to write it like me.
No, I just didn't know you used cuz.
Really? Really? How long you known me?
Like a year or like
Shoot.
almost 2?
Shoot.
I'm sorry.
Page 1. Yeah, I forgive you, even though it's difficult. Page 12. Let's open it up. What do I mean by page 12? It says feminine because the Arab said so. Now you're gonna use your pencil to write in here. Where's your notes? With your pencil. During a harb means war. Guys, write this down in your notes too. A soldier was daydreaming, looking up at the sama.
Oh, sky.
Good. Sky. The meaning sky. Very good. Until the shams came up.
Oh, like the little cover thing?
Yeah, the little cover thing called the sun.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
Until the sun came up. When he snapped out of it, he realized he was the only nafs.
No.
Person. Left on the battlefield.
Wait, hold on. No, I wrote down the wrong place.
Nafs is person.
Yeah.
He was surrounded by nar. Any guess?
Nar is Fire.
Good. That's hideous. So ugly.
Fire. Fire. Water. Air. Earth. Airbender.
Okay, that was my fire. Okay.
That's a nice fire.
So he used a dalwun. A dalw is a
Bucket of water.
bucket. Very good. A bucket.
Full of water to make a
Wow, that's
sabila.
more hideous. Also known by some in the subcontinent as a balti.
A balti.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Anyway, a bucket full of water to make a sabil.
A circle of water.
No,
A river.
a path.
Oh.
And a tariq, which is another word for path. All the way to safer ard.
Land.
Good. In the hot blowing rih.
Climate. Weather.
Wind.
Oh. It looks like a bee.
That was my wind blowing. Okay. He was desperately looking for a bi'r. A bi'r, a well. To draw water from. In his search, he found an empty dar,
Well.
a house.
Oh, house.
What's the well? Bi'r.
Belly.
In which he found a ka's, a cup. Full of khamr.
Alcohol.
Yeah, you can say wine.
Okay.
He's tempted despite his fear of Jahannam. Hell. And a sa'ir. Another word for hell, which I'll explain later.
Sa'ir is another word for Jahannam.
Mm-hmm. To take a sip, but wards off his temptation and uses his asa, which is his staff. Staff doesn't mean his secretary.
Yeah.
Staff means
His like little stick.
it's not little, it's big.
Oh.
A small one is called a cane, but a big one is a staff.
Yeah.
Okay. A staff can be used to beat a wolf.
Oh.
Yeah, but a cane is for an old person to lean on,
Yeah.
right? So asa is actually a staff, okay? To strike the drink. Okay, so there's some interesting vocabulary in here. I do not expect you to memorize this vocabulary, but I wanted you to know that these words, remember in the first part of your notes when you wrote about gender?
Yeah.
If you open that up, I won't show it to you on the screen. I want you to open it up. Okay, I said there are 3 endings
Properties. No, it's
that
just,
make a word feminine.
Pronouns crazy.
We just did it.
No, this gender.
Gender. So there are 3 endings that make a word feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the word harb doesn't have any of them.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the round ta. It doesn't have the stretchy alif.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the ya with the dagger on top. It doesn't, but it's still feminine.
Mhm.
This is not feminine because of the way it ends. This is not feminine because of biology. This is feminine because the Arab said so.
Oh, okay.
So some words are just Arabic because, or some words are just feminine because the Arabs said
That's
so.
no
Okay.
questioning.
No questioning. Now this is done at a barbecue. It's been too long. Okay. And number 4, another one is body parts in pairs. Last one. Body parts in pairs. What that means is the Arabic word for, like, I have one nose, right?
Yeah.
So the nose is masculine.
Okay.
But I have 2 eyes.
So that's feminine.
So that's feminine. I have 2 ears, so ears are feminine. But my head is masculine.
Okay.
My tongue is masculine, but my lips are feminine.
Mhm.
Okay.
So teeth are feminine.
Teeth are, because they're not clearly pairs,
Okay.
so they are masculine.
Masculine.
Then elbows are feminine, feet are feminine, legs are feminine, but the belly is masculine.
Yeah.
The back is masculine. Get it?
Yeah.
So any body part that's in 2s is feminine.
Yeah.
Okay. Hair is masculine because you can't really count.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So body parts in pairs, and then again, vocabulary will come later on. These are the things that the Arabs think are feminine. Okay. Now, before we go on to anything else, I want you to go to page. Okay, I want you to go to page 13. There's a chart on page 13.
Yeah.
Okay. And in this chart, hold on, let me just change my. Okay. I'm going to explain something to you, and you need to make sure you understand it. So if you guys are even online, if you don't get it, you need to ask me, okay? Al-Jibala, there's a meaning next to it. What does it say?
The mountains.
Okay. The English word, the mountains, is that singular or plural?
Plural.
So now I know that this word is plural.
Yeah.
Right? Al-Jibal is plural. Are you clear about that?
Yes.
Okay. There are different kinds of plural. There are masculine plural, feminine plural, broken plural, and plural because the Arab said so.
Yeah.
Okay? What we did in the plural study. Masculine plurals are the ones that end with una or ina.
Ina.
Is that one of them?
No.
No. Feminine plural is the one that ends with atun or atin. Is that one of them?
No.
No. Plural because the Arab said so is qawm, nas, and qarn. Is that one of them?
No.
Which kind of plural is it?
Uh,
If it's not masculine plural, it's not feminine plural, it's not plural because the Arab said so, it's got to be...
singular.
No, you already said it's plural. You said it's mountains.
Is it just plural?
No, there's no such thing as just plural. It's got to be one of four. Let me give you the four choices. I didn't give you the fourth one on purpose.
Yeah.
Masculine plural, that ends with una or
Ina.
ina. Feminine plural, which ends with atun or atin. Plural because the Arab said so, that's only three words.
Yeah.
Qawm, nas, qarn.
Yeah.
And then there's broken plural.
Broken.
Broken plural ends with an ending sound. You can't tell if it's a broken plural just by looking at it.
Okay.
Oh, this is broken.
It's
There you go.
Yeah.
Your job, if I ask you what word is it, when it comes to its number, what are the possibilities? It could be singular,
Singular.
it could be pair,
Pair.
and it could be one of four kinds of plural. What are the four kinds of plural? Masculine, feminine, because the Arab said so, and broken. You got to pick one of those.
Okay.
Okay. This time, what did we pick?
Broken.
Plural.
Okay. Now the next question. You already know the meaning. What's the meaning? The mountains. Is this human broken plural or non-human broken plural?
Non-human.
Okay. When it's non-human, what did you remember writing in your notes? It can be or it must be.
It must be.
Must be what?
Must be
Feminine.
Feminine.
Must be
She.
feminine. Is not-
It must be she.
She.
Oh,
Now
she.
think about the word she. Is the word she singular or plural? The word she.
She. That's singular.
Yep. And what's the gender of it?
Feminine. So
There are four properties of an ism.
Okay.
The number of this, even though the meaning is plural,
Mhm.
in grammar, the number of this is one,
One.
and the gender of this is feminine.
Feminine.
Why? Because we're going to pretend it's a she,
Okay.
because it's a broken plural,
Yeah.
non-human.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the number will be what? One,
One.
and the gender will be feminine.
Feminine.
Feminine. What about the ending? Is this an ending sound or ending combination?
Sound.
What does that sound tell you? What's the status?
It's nasab.
No.
Good. It's nasab.
Oh yeah.
So it's one, it's nasab, and it's feminine.
Feminine.
Okay. Look. Status. Don't write this yet.
Okay.
Number. Gender. Three properties. How many properties did I say Nissim have?
Three.
Four,
Four,
actually.
yeah.
Type 2, right? We haven't
Yeah.
done type. But you need to be able to tell me three of them right now.
Okay.
I want the status,
Status.
the number, and the gender. I'm going to walk you through a few of them. Together, we'll do 5 of them together.
Okay.
Then I'll make you do a few on your own.
Okay.
You can discuss with each other while the students are doing them too.
Okay.
But 5 of them we will do together. Okay? Al-Mukaththibina is the first one. Now listen carefully. The first question I'm going to ask myself, yes?
We're getting some confusion on how do we know al-jibal is a broken plural, and also why are we treating it singular?
Okay. I'll address both of them when I come back to Al-Jibal. Let that sit there for a minute and let that confusion hurt the brain. I'll do al-mukaththibina and I'll come back to al-jibal. Okay, guys?
Alright.
Al-mukaththibina. When we started this class, I said look for combination before you look for ending sound, right? So I look for the combination ina. That ina comes from muslimuna, muslimina, muslimina. I already know it could be nasab or jar. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. It's from the plural column.
Yeah.
Yes? So I already know the number is plural.
Yes.
So it's plural, it's
Plural.
nasab or
Jar.
jar. It's from the first chart or the second chart?
Second.
Mm-mm.
No, it's first.
First chart.
second
So it's
column.
masculine.
Okay.
So the status is nasab or jar.
Okay.
The number is plural.
Plural.
And the gender is masculine.
Masculine.
I figured all those three things out. There's 4 properties of the ism. I figured out 3 of them. Now listen carefully to al-jibal again. The first thing, you don't know what al-jibal means. You don't know what al-jibal means. I know what al-jibal means, and I wrote that for you. What does it mean?
Mountain.
Mountains. What did the Arabs do thousands of years ago with words that are plural, but they're broken plural?
It's a she.
Right. Now, some students asked, how do you know it's a broken plural? Let's walk through that process slowly, okay? How do you know, when it comes to number, the student has to say there are 6 possibilities.
6, yes.
The word could be singular,
Singular.
pair,
Pair.
masculine plural,
Plural.
feminine plural,
Feminine.
plural because the Arabs,
Said so.
yeah, plural because the Arabs said so, and then broken plural,
Broken, yeah. So there's 6.
which could be human or
Non-human.
not, one of these. These are your possibilities when it comes to number. I look at the word al-jibal. I'll write the word here so you can see these possibilities.
Yeah.
And you look at al-jibal, which I already translated for you as mountains. Right? So far, so good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's go through all of these possibilities. Because the question was, how did you know it's a broken plural?
Yeah.
This is the process. Is this word singular? No, because mountains are not singular.
Mountains.
Singular is gone
Yeah.
because common sense.
Yes.
Is this pair? No, I said nothing about 2.
Yeah.
And if it was pair, it would be ani or aini. So 1 is out and 2 is out. Is that clear?
Yes.
The masculine plural ends with una or
Ina.
ina. Does this end with una or ina?
No. Three
No.
is out.
Also, that's for people, and pretty sure mountains are not people.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 is out. So far, so good? Okay. The 4th is feminine plural. How does that end?
Atun. Atin.
Atin. Does this end with atun or atin?
No.
No. So that's out. The plural, because the Arabs said so, are 3 words: qawm,
Qawm.
nas,
Nas and Qaw.
and qarn. Right? Is this qawm, nas, or qarn?
Nah.
Nope. And that's how it's a broken plural. You have to know when I ask, tell me the number.
Yeah.
You've got to go through the elimination.
Okay.
These are your eliminations.
Okay.
Now, does that answer the question? How did you know it's a broken plural? Because there were 2 separate questions, Jawad. There was a question, how do you know it's a broken plural? And then there was a question, why did you make it singular feminine, right? So we'll do the singular feminine question second, but right now the question is, how did you know it's a broken plural? This is how.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that good, Jawad? We're good?
Yes, we're good.
Okay. Now let's look at another one. I'm making one up. Okay. Read this for me.
Kitabani.
What did I tell you to look for first every time?
Combination.
Is there a combination?
No.
Yes,
Bani.
yes.
Yeah, there is actually.
Which combination? Be very specific.
Ani.
What does that tell you?
Honey, that it's
That-
nasab.
No, it's
I
not.
forgot.
It's not.
Go through the chart. No. Go through the chart in your head. Don't open the paper.
Muslimi.
That's not how you start.
Muslimun.
Musliman, Muslimin.
Muslimani. Muslimaini. Muslimain.
Okay, you're saying the chart, but you're not looking at the word anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kitaba.
Muslimaini.
Muslimaini.
Is this a kitabaini?
Oh,
Kitabani.
Oh.
Kitabani.
So go through the process. Struggle.
Muslimuna. Muslimina. Muslimina. So
Okay.
it's not masculine.
I don't know. Maybe you just went through too fast and didn't think.
Wait, kitabani, muslimani.
Start over. Okay.
Oh, so it would be
What did you just say?
muslimani.
So
this would be this would be masculine.
I don't care about masculine right now. I want to know the status.
So this would be
status is the most important question always. Always start with that. That's why we started with it. Think. Muslimun.
Musliman.
That's what is Muslimun?
Muslimun is
That's
rafa.
One rafa.
Yeah.
Go on.
Musliman
Is
That's nasab.
That's
One
no
nasab.
that's
okay.
one nasab.
Okay.
And then
Muslimin.
Muslimun.
No,
Muslimin.
Muslimin is one jar.
Yes.
So Muslimani
Is what?
two
rafa.
rafa. No.
Look at it.
Bani. That rhymes.
So it would be
It's
two rafa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. To
Yeah.
go through the step. Don't forget what you did before.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to do something new. I'm asking you to use what you already did
Okay.
before. Here, it's a two rafa.
Yeah.
Two is how many?
Pair.
Obviously pair. We already got the answer. When you see a combination, you get the answer right away.
Okay.
Okay? Try. This is the next one in the exercise. And I still haven't answered the question about singular feminine, but we'll get to that. Wujuhun.
So this is I already know this is a sound.
Wait. Wujuhun, it means faces.
Faces. So
Okay? Now you know what it means.
yeah.
All right. Should this be singular?
No.
Why?
Because faces, it has an S with it.
Yeah.
So that's already a pair. Or it's already
Okay, so
plural.
I'm eliminating singular as a
Yeah.
possibility. Because it has an ending sound, I'm getting rid of all these combinations.
Yeah.
It can't be any of those because it has an ending sound,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this one has ani, aini, this one has una, ina, this
Yeah.
one has
Yeah.
atunat. So that they're out. Okay. What about plural because the Arab said so?
That's not it.
No.
No.
So it's just broken plural.
hmm Now the question is it human or non-human?
Human.
It's human.
Faces are human.
Yeah.
Goats don't have faces.
Oh wait, no.
Dolls don't have faces.
Oh, so this is non-human.
Drawings don't have faces.
Non-human.
Robots don't have faces.
I mean, yeah, they do. So it'd be non-human.
There you go. A part of a human is not a human.
Yeah.
An ear is not human.
Yeah.
Okay. An eye is not human.
Yeah. If it said human face, well then.
No, it's just a part of a human. When I say human plural, it's the whole person.
Oh, okay.
Not a shoe. It's a person's shoe. That's what's human.
Okay.
The humanity of it. No. Okay. So far, so good. We can identify how do you get to it's a broken plural. Does that make sense? You go through the 6 eliminations.
Yeah, I think I need a little bit more practice.
Absolutely. That's why we're going to do 5 of them together.
Okay.
Then I'm going to make you do one and struggle. Until you struggle, nothing's happening. Nisa. Let's do that one. That's the next one.
That's a sound.
Wait. Hold on. Nisa. And here, I'm going to say that this is women.
Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Nisa. I already know by the hearing of it, it's already a sound.
Okay. Now, I want to go through. It's a sound, so what status is it?
So it is one
It's one nasab.
nasab.
Okay, I'll just put nasab for now.
Okay.
I won't put one yet. Is it one?
Yeah,
What's the meaning?
it's singular. It's
Oh,
woman.
It's women?
Yeah,
It's woman. It's
yeah,
more than
woman.
one, right?
So singular can't be it.
Oh no, yeah, it can't be it. I thought a woman.
Women.
Yeah.
So it's nasab, but it's not
Uh-huh.
one.
Yeah.
Is it pair
No.
or
What?
masculine plural or
No.
feminine plural?
Mm-mm.
It doesn't have aton or una or
Yeah.
ani, none of that stuff. So
And
that's
it's
gone.
not 5.
Is it one of those 3 words?
No.
No.
So it's
What is
just
it again?
It's a broken
Broken
plural.
plural.
Human or non?
Human.
There you go.
Wow.
Now it's human. I didn't write the number and gender on it yet,
Okay.
but I would just want to get to the point where you can identify how do you know it's a broken plural?
Okay.
Are you getting better at that? How
Yeah.
do you know it's a broken plural?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can go through the process again. Let's mix it up a little. Al mutanafisuna. Okay, this time I'm not telling you what it means. And I want you to tell me which kind of plural. Is it singular? Is it pair? Is it plural? Which one of these 6 is it? You have to figure it out. Which one of these 6 is it?
So Mina
Masculine.
Read the word again.
al-mutanafisuna.
Good job. Al-mutanafisuna. Say it, Maryam.
Al-mutanafisuna.
Okay. Is there anything that sounds familiar?
Una.
Okay.
Una.
Where does that come from?
So that's
Masculine
masculine plural.
Okay, so I'm going to write masculine plural.
Yeah. So
How many? Plural is how many? Gender?
gender.
Gender.
This would be
What chart is it?
Oh, this is masculine.
So masculine. So already did masculine plural. What status is it?
Status, it would be. Hold on.
Una. That's
Una.
Rafa.
Rafa.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. You're getting it.
Yeah. So
Let's see if you can handle this one. Al-biharu.
al-biharu. Ooh, this is already a sound.
That's a sound.
Okay.
Ooh, this
Which
is
of
Rafa.
these 6 go with sound?
The broken plural.
No.
Does the
Oh.
singular go with sound?
No, none of those go with sound except broken.
Wait. How does the singular work? Un,
Singular.
an, in.
In,
Isn't
yeah.
that sound?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is.
And the broken plurals also have sound?
Yes.
So when you see a word, you don't know what it means.
Yeah. You always just.
It could be number 1 or number 6.
Oh, okay.
If you see a word and it's got an ending sound
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know what it means, the answer could be number 1 or number 6. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if it was number 2, it would have been ani or
Yeah.
aini. If it was
Oh,
number
yeah.
3, it would have been una or ina, right?
Yeah.
So if you see an ending sound and you don't know what it means, the answer could be number 1 or
6.
6. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Is that clear to everybody? The 1 and 6 thing? If you see an ending sound, the only possibilities are 1 and 6. Obviously, you eliminate number 5 because those are only 3 words. Make sense? Okay. Now, I need to answer the other question. Why did I call it singular feminine?
Yeah.
Here's a simple way of looking at it. There is no simple way because this thing is complicated anyway. The Arabs made it complicated because they said we're going to pretend that a broken plural is a she.
She. Yeah.
What does that mean? We're going to pretend
Pretend.
it's singular feminine, which actually means she. When they say they're going to pretend, that whole she exercise I did,
Mm-hmm.
well, the grammar way of saying that is singular feminine, even though we know that it's plural.
Yeah.
I already started by saying it's plural.
Mm-hmm.
It's plural. The way you distinguish that, the way you separate that is, how can you, Ustad, you said plural in the beginning, and now you're saying singular in the same line?
Yeah.
Why? Well, because it's plural in meaning
Mm-hmm.
and singular in grammar.
Yeah.
This is the only time meaning goes one way and grammar goes the other way.
Yeah.
Okay? When does that happen? When you have a broken plural.
Plural.
Singular and feminine, even though the meaning is plural.
Yeah.
Now, is that clear? Why I said singular feminine? So al-jibal was the same way, singular feminine. It's a pretend answer, but it's an answer I need you to say. You should know the meaning is plural. You should know the grammar is singular feminine. Though you both of those that contradiction needs to sit in your mind. So if you go here, al-jibal was a non-human broken plural.
Yeah.
So singular feminine. It's a she. Pretend she. This wujuhun is faces. It's non-human plural. She.
She.
One feminine. Bihar is seas. So
So-
one feminine.
One feminine.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's going to happen over and over again. But the tricky one is nisa. So let's do nisa. Okay. Let's do an-nisa again. An-nisa. Okay, so it ends with sound or combination, guys?
Sound.
When it ends with sound, the answer could be number 1 or number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But now I know the meaning. The meaning is women. And the meaning will help me figure out if you're confused, is it 1 or 6? The only thing that will help you is the meaning.
Yeah.
Right? So because I know the meaning is plural, it can't be 1.
So singular.
So it's got to be 6. It's got to be a broken plural.
Yeah.
Now, it says the choices are human or non-human,
Yeah.
right? What did you learn in your notes about not a human? What did you write?
A human is a she.
Is always she or can be she?
Can be
Can be
she.
she.
Right. So if I said here singular feminine, if I did say that, it would be right
Mm-hmm.
because they let you make that pretend answer.
Yeah.
But you know, the reality of it is that these are women, which means there's more than two of them.
Yeah.
And the reality is they are plural feminine,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Either one of these answers in Arabic is correct
Oh, okay.
because it says can.
Yeah.
It can be treated that way.
Yeah.
If this was mountains, there's only one answer, one F.
Yeah.
That's the construction people.
Oh, okay.
So as mountains is one F. But if it's people,
Yeah.
it could be plural, whatever their gender is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's try another one.
So one feminine or three feminine.
One feminine or three feminine.
Okay.
Rusulun,
Rasulun.
messengers.
Oh yeah. So Rasulun is a sound.
Good. Because it's a sound, what are our options?
Singular
Or
broken.
broken plural, right?
Yeah.
Those are our options. How will you tell the difference between 1 and 6?
1 and 6. If there is if it's
Meaning.
singular.
Meaning.
Yeah.
Not a singular. Only meaning will tell you,
Yeah.
is it 1 or is it 6?
Yeah.
Think about the meaning. What does the meaning say?
Oh, it's not singular. So because it has an S.
There
so
you
there's
go.
More than one, so it's 6.
Now the question is it human or not human?
Well,
Because if you say 6, then there's two possibilities under 6.
Yeah.
Human or
non-human.
non-human. Okay.
Messengers are humans.
Messengers are humans, which means you get two answers. Every time you say human, you're going to get two answers.
Okay.
If you get not human, you only get one answer, one F,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But if it's human, you get two answers. Now,
Okay.
what are the two answers? Well, one answer is one F, always.
F, yeah.
Singular feminine. That's
Yeah.
that's the pretend answer.
Yeah.
But the reality is, are messengers one or many?
There's many.
So that's 3. That's the reality of it. And are they men or women?
A man.
So there are two answers.
One.
One's the crazy answer,
Yeah. One femme.
1F, that's the grammar answer, and 3M is the meaning answer.
Oh,
And they're both
okay.
correct.
Okay.
Sometimes the Quran will use one feminine, sometimes the Quran will use plural
Okay.
masculine. Jawad, questions?
Yes. Can you explain the pretend answer one more time?
Yeah. So the pretend answer has to do with the thing we started with today, broken plurals. When you have a broken plural, and I showed you how do you get to the process. Let's walk through that again from like, let's do everything with Rusul to understand this concept. Rusulun, I told you means messengers. In order to figure this problem out, these 6 items need to be in your head.
Okay.
Okay? The thing is, you have to eliminate. Well, it could be singular because it ends with un.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go with singular because I know it already means something plural.
Yeah.
So 1 is eliminated.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
2 is eliminated.
Yeah.
I'll bold out the ones that are eliminated. Okay? 2 is eliminated because it doesn't have ani or aini.
Yeah.
3 is eliminated because it doesn't have una or ina. 4 is eliminated because it doesn't have atun or atin. 5 is eliminated because it's not one of the words that the Arab
Yeah.
said so. Because 5 are gone, the only possibility is it's a broken plural. Okay? Now that you know it's a broken plural, with broken plurals comes this crazy pretend game.
Okay.
Even though they're talking about a plural,
Mm-hmm.
they grammatically think of it as one feminine, or they
Right.
can. Sometimes they must, sometimes they can.
Yeah.
When must they and when can they? With humans, they can. And with non-humans,
They can't.
they must.
Oh, they must.
Rusul is human, right?
Yeah.
So they can say that this is one feminine.
Okay.
And what does that mean that it's one feminine? You'll see that a little bit later on. But as an example, I can tell you that if they're talking about messengers
Mhm.
traveled,
Yeah.
messengers traveled, they can get away with saying she traveled. And they all know they're not really saying she traveled. They all know they're saying they traveled, but they use the word she anyway.
Okay.
Okay?
this is
That's the crazy insider joke that they have.
Yeah. So this is what this is like what you'll see in the Quran
This,
sometimes.
you will absolutely see this in the Quran. Absolutely. This is why I'm taking the time to teach this to you.
Okay.
Because this happens in the Quran, and then people think, "Oh, that must mean that some prophets were women." No, that's not what this means. This is grammar.
Yeah.
Learn a little bit of Arabic grammar, boo, before you talk about what Quran means. Okay,
Okay.
so she traveled will actually mean they traveled. That's one F. But so you can go by this crazy grammar rule, or you can go by reality.
Yeah.
What's the reality? That there's many of them, and that they are masculine.
Okay.
So you have a grammar answer and you have a reality answer,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So and by the way, when I say one F, 1 is for number, and F is for gender.
Yeah, okay.
3 is for number, and M is for gender.
Gender.
But I want 3 properties. I want number, gender, but I also want status first.
Oh.
What's the status of this word?
One rafa.
Good. Rafa. Rafa. It's either Rafa 1F or Rafa 3M.
Okay.
Okay?
Man, you weren't kidding about the brain overload.
Yeah, I was not kidding. I was not kidding. This is tough for even Arabs. Let me tell you. There are Arabs right now watching. They're like, Ya late. Ya salam. Ah. لا له من درس صعب. But you guys are doing it, and you will do it, because my job is to hurt your brain and make it stronger.
Yeah.
No muscle gets stronger until you exhaust it.
Yes.
Just how Allah made life. Okay?
What a great way to make life.
Somebody wrote broken PLS. That means, I hope that means broken plurals, but I also hope doesn't mean broken please. I don't know what you mean by it. How they can get singular. That's hidden reality of broken plural.
Just take a moment.
Al-jibalu. Okay, then why are we not? Yes, I think Yusra says if we are looking for the meaning when stuck, then why are we not considering the meaning of al-jibalu? We did, in fact. We did consider the meaning of al-jibal.
Yeah.
Al-jibala. But let's come back to work here.
Okay.
Try to solve. I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes. I'll let you struggle, and I'm going to go frolic in the fields.
Okay.
5 exact. I'll put a timer on it. Number this al-quburi
The graves.
and al-bayyinatu. I want the status.
Status.
I want the number. And I want the gender.
Okay. Those 3 things.
Yep. For both of these. In this order. Status will be rafa, nasab, or jar. Number will be 1, 2, or plural.
Okay.
And then in which kind of plural, whatever. And then gender will be masculine or feminine.
Okay.
Figure it out.
Okay.
Solve these 2 problems for me. You got 5 minutes.
All right. You gonna put like the other thing? Like
Yeah,
that
I'll
way?
put the thing so you feel pressure.
Oh, it's right here. What? I didn't know like that thing was here. The non-human property name.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Get to work.
Okay. So this. Okay. Would it be okay? So. E. So this one the
That's
graves.
sound.
So this is sound. This is.
The graves. It's not singular. E. That's E
Ooh.
is jar.
Yeah, it's
E
jar.
is jar.
So this is jar. Jar. Wait, what else did he say it was? Oh, he said it was this. He wants status,
Status,
gender.
gender, and number. Number.
I think so, yeah. So
Put a timer on.
yeah, 4 minutes. So we already
It's
know.
non-human.
Yeah. So it's non-human. If it's non-human, it can be 1 or 6. So this,
It's 6.
yeah, it's 6. So
it's 1 jar.
it's 1 jar. It's 1 jar. But what else is it? It's oh my gosh, forget
Is
it.
it masculine or feminine?
Because if it was masculine,
If it was masculine, it'd have to have the una and ina.
yeah, una and ina. If it was feminine,
It's masculine because it doesn't have the aton
Yeah.
and aten, so it's masculine.
so if hold on, note gender masculine versus feminine, fake broken plurals can be fake feminine. Yeah, so this is gender. What type of gender? So it's
Masculine.
it's masculine.
Yes.
It's
How would it be feminine?
feminine. Oh, yeah. So it'd be masculine.
It's plural, masculine, 1 jar.
Yeah, 1 jar. No, but the number 6, because it's non-human, so therefore it is the. Hold on. Student Budejo was. Psycho, it would be 1 jar. It's jar.
Yes, it's 1 jar.
So it would be 1 feminine. And then he said it would be 1
Oh, yeah, it
feminine.
could be 1 feminine, or
Okay, so
No pressure.
so it'd be jar, 1 feminine, right? Oh wait, no, the 1 would be right here. 1 feminine, and then it would be masculine. Would it be?
Seiko?
It would be 3 masculine, right?
That would be 1 masculine.
So
I don't know.
you're guessing.
Think through it. Slow down.
Yeah.
Think about the first thing about status.
Status. Well, the status
Think
is.
about number.
We have a
How many things
minute
you have to
left.
go through when you think about number? The 6 things.
Yeah. The number.
Then when you solve number, gender will solve automatically.
Oh yeah. So if it's non-human. So this is already non-human.
It has to be.
It's broken, so it's treated. All non-human plurals, broken or not, are treated. So this is a she. So this is a broken plural. Broken plural. So
You're right.
yeah, it's just,
You're on the right track.
It's
so
plural. It's masculine. It's jar.
yeah, but then would it be 1 feminine? It'd be 1 feminine and then 3 masculine?
That's
That's
only for people.
what?
That's only for people. Is it people?
No,
No,
it's
it's a-
non. So it would be just 1 feminine. Oh, okay. 1
feminine.
So it's Jed, it's masculine, and 1 feminine.
Yes.
You have to get rid of the masculine.
Oh wait, no, yeah,
You already
because
said 1 feminine.
yeah.
Um,
So if it's feminine, so it's feminine. Feminine.
Feminine says feminine.
Yeah.
Yep, there's no gender confusion in grammar.
Okay. Yeah. So
are you
Jed.
putting your answer over there or in the answer box? Like, how's it treated? Are you
Oh.
gonna put it there too?
Man, we didn't even get to the second one. So it is plural.
Yes,
Plural.
feminine.
Fem
Okay, time expired.
and Jed.
I'm going to explain it, and then you guys tell me if there's still confusion, okay?
Okay.
Al-Quburi ends with an ending sound.
Yeah.
Because it's an ending sound, the answer for status is very clear that it's jar.
Yeah.
The rafa would have been u, the nasab would have been a, and the jar is e.
E.
Okay, so status is done. Now the only problem left is number and gender. Okay. Now, because it ends with e, there are 6 possibilities,
Mm-hmm.
but only 2 of them can be used when a word ends with an ending sound.
Yeah.
That's either it's singular or it's a broken plural.
Yeah.
So it's either number 1 or number 6,
Yeah.
the ones in green,
Yeah.
right? And I'll write the Arabic word here so that we don't have to go back and forth. Al-Quburi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also wrote the meaning next to it.
Yeah. Great.
And because I wrote the meaning next to it, you already know that it's a plural,
Yeah.
which means number 1 is not possible, which means it can only be number 6.
6. Yeah.
Then the question is, as soon as you get to number 6, you ask yourself, is it human or non? Well, it's a grave, so it's a
Non.
thing, so
Yeah,
it's
non.
non-human. And it says next to non, must pretend it's singular feminine.
Okay.
What does that mean? Singular feminine means the number is 1, even though it's a plural.
Yeah.
The gender is feminine,
Mm-hmm.
and then we already said the status is jar.
Yeah. So it's.
Jar, singular, and feminine.
Oh, okay. I put plural.
Plural is right by meaning.
Oh, okay.
Graves are plural,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's correct by meaning, but not correct by grammar.
Oh, okay.
So when it comes to broken plurals, it's crazy. Meaning is another, grammar is another. I want the grammar answer.
Okay, so singular.
So singular, feminine, jar.
Good.
And why is singular feminine? Because it's a non-human broken
Oh,
plural.
okay.
Okay? That's what I want. Good
So
job.
if it was human, it would have been feminine.
If it was human,
Yeah.
then the only difference would have been this still would have been a correct answer.
Okay.
And then there would have been a 3 and whatever the human gender is.
Okay.
Because in reality, you can go by reality.
Yeah.
With non-humans, you don't get to go by reality.
Yeah. So if it was also human, it would be plural.
The other answer could have had plural.
Okay.
Yeah. Question?
So we have a lot. Yeah, we have a lot of questions about how to tell the status and light and heavy for broken plurals.
Okay. The status for broken plurals is just an ending sound. Simple. It's the same as singular. Go to page 6, everybody. Whoa. I don't know why I drew that line. Okay. Woo. Oh, I gotta let that go. I think what it is. Okay. Okay. Here. Now I can draw. This is singular.
Yes.
This is pair. And this is.
Plural.
And when it comes to this plural, you can tell it's plural by the ending combinations, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the second column, which the plural, you can tell by the ending combinations, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's a third chart we never touched.
Yeah.
Pen. 2 pens. Pens. The thing is, this one ends with ending sound. This one also ends with
Ending sound.
ending sound because broken plurals also end with
Ending sound.
ending sounds. Okay? So you can tell their status the same way you can tell the status of a singular. So this is rafa, this is nasab, and this is jar. Except this one's going to be 1F, 1F, and 1F also. Why? Because we're going to pretend that this is singular feminine in grammar, even though in reality it's in the plural column.
So if it was like if we weren't pretending, it would be 3F.
That's
3,
right.
3.
If we weren't pretending, it would be 3. We wouldn't even call it F.
Okay.
But we have to pretend, so we'll call it 1F.
Okay.
Does that help? I mean, my squigglies don't help, but Jawad, we good?
We're still getting some questions on why it's singular feminine.
The final answer to why it's singular feminine is the broken plurals were considered singular feminine grammatically by the Arabs thousands of years ago, well before the Quran. Nothing I can do about it. I don't know the answer to why, actually, technically. Some student actually a long time ago sent me a theory on why. I liked it. I forgot what it was. Maybe I'll find it. But I don't know. It just is. It's one of those things. It is what it is. You just got to know it.
Except
I don't know of any other rule of Arabic where I have to do this. This is the only one. And some of you are like, I was so hopeful in my learning of Arabic until broken plurals happened. And then I don't think I can learn Arabic. I think I'm going to quit. I think I'll take up French. Maybe I'll just learn cooking instead. Stop it. Broken plurals don't make sense. And that's okay. Broken plurals are crazy. That's okay. Don't stress yourself about it. It's just that when they're broken, they're treated singular feminine. And this will make way more sense in 2 days. Way more, I promise. Maybe 3 days. But right now, I'm just introducing the concept, not so much application. What does it mean that the Arabs consider it feminine? You can't see that yet because you're not making phrases yet. You're not making phrases. And when you get to the phrases, this becomes second nature. It just happens. Okay? Other questions?
When we're looking at a word like al-bihar, can we just say that because of the alif lam, none of this matters?
No, the none of this matters can only apply to the question of light and heavy, which we're not even asking right now. We don't even care about that question right now. So it still matters. Sorry. When we saw it, listen. Okay. Everybody watch this. When you see alif lam, then the question of light versus heavy doesn't matter, right? That's what I said. If you see alif lam, we don't care, light or heavy. Remember that?
yeah.
Okay. Some students do this. Let me color it for you. Some students hear this. When you see alif lam, then the question doesn't matter. And they forget the light and heavy part.
Oh,
So when they see alif lam, nothing matters. There's an alif lam. We don't have to do anything now. There's an alif lam on it. No. The only thing that doesn't matter is light versus heavy. Status still matters. Number still matters. Gender still matters. But Ustad, you said if there's alif lam, Arabic doesn't matter anymore. No, it